to now? Yeah, absolutely. You're not going to switch them off, right? No. Just leave them. And then as soon as they start, I'll unmute.
Hello, good afternoon. May I confirm that all the camera crews are good, the sound is on par. Allow me to welcome you to the National Results Operations Center based in Midrand. This afternoon, we'll be briefing on preparations for day one of special voting, which is taking place tomorrow. The Electoral Commission is coming live from Galaga Estate at the National Results Operations Center. Welcome. I'm hoping that after this briefing, all of us, the whole country, will be ready to undertake the special voting. My name is Kate Babela. I'm joined this afternoon by two Deputy Chief Electoral Officer, Mr. Masoko Shiburi and then Mr. Mawetu Mosri. Both, the three of us will ensure that South Africa tomorrow morning, when we wake up, will undertake our special voting. Welcome. Ntate Shiburi, may I request you to brief the nation on our preparations for tomorrow.
Good afternoon. The Electoral Commission declares its readiness to welcome voters who have qualified for special votes to vote over the 2 days on the 27th and on the 28th of May. In total, there are over 1.6 million South Africans who have been approved to vote by special votes. Of those, 624,000 will be visited by our trained staff at their homes of places of confinement. This is so because they've been approved for special vote owing to physical conditions and their inability to physically present at a voting station. We are encouraged by the number of special votes received, which indicates the enthusiasm with which the South African population has for these elections. The provincial breakdown of special votes are as follows. Gauteng has the highest number at 335,000, followed by KwaZulu-Natal at 320, the Eastern Cape at 286,000, Limpopo at 159,000, Western Cape 137,000, Northwest 132,000, Mpumalanga 126,000, Free State 86, and the Northern Cape at 83,000 special votes. Special votes will be administered in the presence of agents of contestants and observers where those are present. However, people are only allowed into homes at the request or at the direction of the homeowner. We may not impose on the homeowner to allow people that they do not wish to attend, to grant access to their homes. Voters who will vote by special vote are reminded to have their identity documents handy in order to confirm their participation for these elections. After a voter casts their ballot, they will be handed 2 envelopes. They insert their marked ballot into an unmarked envelope, which in turn is inserted into a bigger envelope which has the details of the voter. The purpose of the envelopes are to ensure that we can verify that only persons who have been approved to vote by special vote have voted, but also to ensure the secrecy of the vote by delinking the vote from the voter. Voting stations will open at 9 o'clock in the morning and will close at 5 o'clock for both home visits and for station visits. People who are at the queue at the close of stations will be assisted. Following the conclusion of voting day on the 27th and on the 28th, the ballot boxes, together in their envelopes, will be transported for safe storage over the night of the 27th and on the 28th. This is so because the special votes are not counted separately on those days. They will be transported for safe storage, reintroduced at the voting station on the 29th, verification undertaken before they are included in the count once all the stations have closed. We remind the South African voters that there will be 3 ballots in these elections. The first is a national ballot, which has 52 political parties. The parties are set out in 2 columns. Again, we remind voters to only make a mark against a single party. The second will be a regional ballot for seats in the National Assembly. Again, parties will be set out one after the other on ballot, and voters are urged to only make 1 ballot. The third ballot is for election to choose members of the provincial legislatures. Again, voters are urged to only make a mark against a single party. Measures have been put in place to ensure that persons who live with disabilities can still vote in conditions of relative dignity and without disclosing their choice to anyone. Working together with the South African National Council for the Blind, we have developed a voting aid which we call a universal ballot template. For persons who can read Braille, they can be able to vote without disclosing their choice of candidate or party. For those with unsteady hand, they will be able to use the universal ballot template to also make their mark without disclosing their choice or relying on companions for assistance. We call on all registered South Africans to, ahead of going to stations, to check whether they are presenting at the correct voting station. To do so, a voter may send their ID number to this SMS number, 32810. They will receive a response confirming the voting station at which they are registered. Persons can also visit our website or call the contact center at 0800 11 8000. Earlier today, the Commission released a statement at which it registered its displeasure with conduct of certain party members at one of its storage facilities, where a storage facility was run over by supporters of MK Party, and they started interfering in an unauthorized and unlawful manner with the handling of materials at that storage site. We wish to clarify that the videos depict a planned logistical arrangement. In other words, ballots were transported closer to their point of their use to increase the chances that voting stations will open on time because materials are stored very close to where they will be used. The planned security measures were that trucks distributing ballots were escorted by members of the South African Police Service to a local storage site. These storage sites are guarded on a 24-hour basis so that we can guarantee that the ballots are safeguarded and only persons who have the requisite authority gain entry into those sites and to avert burglaries and tampering of electoral materials. The Commission also notes the threats that have been directed at the staff of the Electoral Commission and some of the commissioners. The Commission further notes an incident in eThekwini where a presiding officer was woken at home in the middle of the night in order to accompany those people who accosted them to a storage site where the Commission held its material. And that station or the storage site is the Baptist Church voting station in Chesterville. At that site, we had stored voting booths, voting station signage banners, as well as unfolded ballot boxes. No ballot papers were at that site. It was just the bulk material that supports the election. We reaffirm again that it is part of the logistical plan for the Commission to deliver bulk material to voting stations ahead of Election Day. This is meant to ensure that voting stations open on time and only security material gets delivered directly to voting station on the voting day. The Commission strongly condemns threats to its staff, and that no party nor any representative of a party has authority to gain access to the facilities of the Electoral Commission or to accost electoral staff at their private residences. We call on all South Africans to come out in numbers and exercise their democratic rights to vote. We further continue to call on all citizens, media members, and political party leaders to set a good example and foster an electoral environment based on trust, integrity, and respect for all. We declare our readiness to receive the 1.7 million persons who've been approved to vote by special vote tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you, DCO Shiburi. I'm going to open the floor for questions, if there are any. I've got my colleagues on the floor. You introduce yourself and the media house you represent, and then we'll be able to deal with those issues. The statement is available on all platforms of the Electoral Commission. DCO looks like we're good to go. I don't see any hands. Okay, there.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. My name is Ngosi Konamalengamnisi from Power FM. Just one quick question. Is there any repercussions for some of the incidents that have been mentioned and the individuals involved? Thank you very much.
All right, looks like that's the only hand. DCO, as you respond, will be wrapping up the press briefing. Busy 3 days ahead. DCO Shiburi.
Thank you. Indeed, there are repercussions. The actions as captured and depicted on the video footage constitute electoral offenses, but they also constitute interference with the work of the Electoral Commission. The Commission is in touch with the party. It is also in touch with the South African police services, which are responsible for the safekeep of order during the election process. We should, in the next briefing, be able to indicate the specific steps that the Commission has taken to deal with the incidents. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, let me bring this press briefing to a close. Tomorrow morning is special voting day 1. Thank you very much. Goodbye.